became trapped under a level crossing barrier in Lincoln. It happened on Saturday afternoon. Inside the car was the driver and her baby. Both were rescued. Gemma Dawson is near the crossing in Lincoln. Can you explain what happened?
Well, Peter, just take a look at this footage. Firstly, you'll see a pedestrian try and dodge
Misuse.
the barrier, and then you'll notice a car on the level crossing as the barriers come down close to the University of Lincoln. And in the moments that follow, people rush to the car to try and help the driver and her baby. Now, this all happened here on Saturday afternoon, but earlier I asked people near the crossing for their reaction to this footage.
I thought it was very terrifying, really. They should be more careful.
People should definitely just hang back a little bit more at a crossing because it is dangerous.
It's a question of being sensible, isn't it? Barriers come down. If you behave properly, you shouldn't have a problem.
Well, British Transport Police have told us that they're aware of the incident that happened here, they're investigating and they're looking for witnesses. But you know, we're told time and again about the dangers of level crossings. But while we were filming here earlier, we actually spotted a pedestrian trying to
Misuse
dodge
again.
the barriers. He obviously didn't want to wait for the train to come past, and so it seems that safety message still isn't getting through.
Gemma, thank you very much indeed. Well, on this one, a short time ago, I spoke to Toby Higgins from Network Rail, who are in charge of the crossing. I asked him what his reaction was when he saw the pictures of this car getting stuck at the weekend.
Deeply concerning. It's worrying to see people using level crossings in this way and taking chances at level crossings. Our message is quite clear that you shouldn't take a risk at a level crossing. You shouldn't try and steal a little bit of time by joining the queue if your exit isn't clear, and that really is what's happened here. Thankfully there were no serious injuries on this occasion, but it shows just how serious something could have been.
I can see people shouting at the TV tonight. In fact, I've already had an email from Ian. That woman put her child's life at risk as well as herself and the people on the train. The full weight of the law must fall on her. Why do people do it?
Well, thankfully there were no serious injuries this time. I think people do it because they are impatient, and I think perhaps as well there's a little bit of a lack of understanding about how dangerous level crossings can be, and that at any time a train can come. I think people perhaps get used to seeing the barriers up predominantly at level crossings, but it does show that when a train comes, the barrier sequence will begin, and you don't want to be on a level crossing when that happens.
It's not just drivers though, is it? The pictures also show a person running underneath the barriers as they come down. They must know that a train is on the way, and yet they still take chances.
That's right, and I know it can be frustrating to stand at a barrier, particularly at Brayford Wharf in Lincoln, where there are lots of trains that come through and people perhaps think that once the barriers come down they may end up stood there for several minutes. But it's really important, as you say, that for drivers and for pedestrians, once the light sequence starts or if your exit is not clear, you shouldn't enter the level crossing.
Is there anything we can do to make them more safe, or not really?
The level crossing at Brayford has got every safety feature on it that exists on level crossings. It's got lights, it's got alarms, and it's got the barriers, and it's got somebody watching the crossing as well. I think it's a case of education, and I think it's incidents like this that really bring home just how unsafe level crossings can be if they're not used safely.
OK, so your message to everyone tonight who uses and regularly crosses a level crossing is what?
Is to be patient and to use the level crossing correctly. I know it can be frustrating to stand at a level crossing, and it can be tempting to think that you would join the level crossing because the traffic in front will move, but it's so important, as the footage shows, that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't take a risk at a level crossing, and just be patient.
Mr Higgins, very good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. There we are, that's Toby Higgins from Network Rail. Another one like your views on tonight. What do you think of the pictures that you've just seen on this one? Do you think that the level crossings are safe enough? Have you seen anything like this yourself? Why do people take such chances and such risks? There's a reminder of the email address and also the text number on the subject of level crossings. Look forward to hearing from you. So more news. Our second complaint